Hello everyone, Draken84 here and welcome back to another Luck Be a Landlord video. So we are going to go for another apartment 9 and let's try to win as consistently as possible. Right, I don't like any of these options. Seed can grow into great things. Usually it will grow into a banana, a cherry or a flower. I'm probably going to pick it here because I think you should always pick something on the first spin. Beer is another interesting symbol to take here. It will allow us to pick a dwarf, and at some point we will find a dwarf, so maybe beer is actually better than a seed. You know what, I'm gonna go for the beer over the seed. I think, well, the seed can grow into something insane like a pear or just something decent like an orange or just a 2 or 3 value symbol. Pretty often it will change into a 1 value symbol that is just kind of difficult to remove, and beer is kind of easy to remove, so I'm going to go for the beer here. Not 100% on this one, but I think it makes sense. So egg is bad to pick, never pick an egg if you don't have a plan for it. Between key and lockbox, I will always take the key over the lockbox. I mean, if I don't have a key or a lockbox already, obviously. A key can open safes and chests and stuff like that. Alright, we have picked 2 symbols already. We are safe to pick our first cultist. Might not pan out, but I think you should, if you can take an early cultist like that in a safe position, you should just do it. We can always remove it later. There's a dwarf that we needed to remove the beer, so that's fine. It does mean that we need to pick more symbols because one of our symbols is going to go away. Alright, we made this rent. So I'm definitely picking up the rabbit here, but that does mean that for now we will have a 1 value symbol. Hex of Draining is the safe pick, but I think a rabbit is strong enough that we should just definitely pick it here. We also have the small boost of the beer with the dwarf, and the key might give us a lockbox. I think we are very likely to make our next rent and the one after that, and if we get that far, then rabbit will be extremely strong. That said, now that we don't have a 2 value symbol, I think I will go blue pepper over fish tank. Blue pepper won't give us anything in the long run, but it will allow us to stay in the game for a longer time. So we will 100% make our next rent, which is great. Ooh, this is interesting. So I think I will pick a lockbox over a beer. Both will, right? A beer will give 10 and a lockbox will give 15. But the lockbox will also remove the key, which in the long run will be good for us. These are decisions where you're not, I don't know what's the optimal play, but I think both options are fine and I'm going to go with my gut here. Definitely don't want another dwarf. If we find a dwarf anvil, that would be a reason to pick up another dwarf. Maybe with a bartender, but I am not very happy about that at this point. That said, Matrushka doll, it's my favorite symbol in the game. It won't give us anything right now, but in the long run it will be a 4 value symbol, which is great for us. We have already made 50, so that's good. We have 2 spins to go. Shiny Pebble is pretty good just to have. No reason not to pick it up, and a 2 value symbol to top this off. Alright, we are 85, that's just pretty good at this stage. So I want the 2 value symbol, and we could either pick the ninja. Ninja doesn't have a lot of synergies, but it's just a 2 value symbol. A big ore can do a lot of great things, especially if you find a geologist or something similar. It will also mean that if we find a dwarven anvil, it will actually be it might actually be bad for us. I mean, it might give us 2 pearls, which might be bad for us. I'm going to go with the ninja. Because of that, I think mostly these are just the same symbol, and I'm not gonna pick a billionaire here. Alright. We have seen 2 seeds already for the watering can, but let's not do it. I think black pepper or yellow pepper are both fine. I mean, I'm gonna go with the black pepper. We have a dwarf and we have a Matrushka doll, so it's going to pay something at the very least. Rabbit fluff. I'm always happy to have a rabbit fluff, which means that our cultist is less good right now, but that's also fine. None of these help us. We've already picked up a lockbox for our keys, so picking up another lockbox doesn't help us. And dwarf and crab, I mean, I don't want any of those, so let's just do this. I mean, we have a blue pepper, so we are not worried about... I mean, we don't need to pick up a lot of things for now. At some point we do need to pick up a lot of things, but I'm not gonna pick up anything that doesn't help me that much. And blue pepper gives us a lot of leeway here. Hexo draining is interesting, and I could definitely see that working here, but I'm gonna go with a 3-sided die. It's a more stable pick, and we don't have to remove it later. These are all very bad for us. I mean, Piñata is just a 1 value symbol, Hooligan is a 1 value symbol, Axe of Midas is, well, it would instantly lose us the run, so not picking up any of these. They were 3 uncommons, which is fine. Alright, we were close to 150, which means that we are almost a full rent payment ahead for now, but that was partly based on temporary gains. That said, let's just pick up the wine here. It's going to be drank by the dwarf, so again, it's only going to be a 2 value symbol for a short while. But I think it's good enough here, and Hex of Thievery is just bad. Reroll Capsule doesn't give us any money, so I'm gonna go for this one. Alright, Cursed Katana is a possible game winner. We already have 1 ninja. Kind of awkward that we have upped our rare chance a little bit, but I don't think that's a problem here. Alright, we still have 3 empties. And pretty soon we will have to decide what we are going to be doing with that. I mean, I'm definitely removing the cultist at some point, so I think picking up a symbol here is kind of free. I'm gonna go for another 3-sided die, I guess, and let's just remove the cultist because I don't think it's going to do anything. We still have our 3 empties, but we won't have them for very long. We are seeing a million dwarfs this run, which doesn't really help us, but it's something that's happening. Yeah, these are all bad. I could reroll trying to look for a ninja, but I don't think that's worth it. There's just 1 ninja and there's a lot of common symbols. I'd rather play the long game. There's another uncommon and the second cultist, of course. Once you get rid of a cultist, you will pretty often see another one. It's that's actually just confirmation bias, because the times where it doesn't happen you don't notice it, and when it does happen it stings a little bit, but just wanted to point it out. I don't think any of those are worth picking up here. Alright, I'm not sure if I want a rabbit fluff here. I mean, you kind of want the ninjas to do a lot here. I'm just gonna pick up the item capsule here. I think you can definitely make a case for the rabbit fluff. I mean, you're always going to see some commons, but let's just go for the item capsule. It might be extremely good for us. Rain Cloud is okay, I guess. Extra Destruction, I mean, I have used Hex of Destruction very positively in some cases. And we have a setup here where we are not actually relying on any one symbol to carry us yet, but I don't like picking it up here. I mean, it might remove the dots, but it will also remove dice and other things in the meantime, and which means we are going to be forced to pick up a lot of symbols. I don't think picking it up is wrong here, but I think removal capsule is just a safe pick. So let's go for that one. Alright. So that's a little bit less than a rent payment ahead, but that's fine. We are still doing well enough. And of course we get another interesting decision. So, I mean, Matryoshka Doll and Rabbit are both good in the long run. I'm just going to go with the Matryoshka Doll. I think we also have the black pepper, and I don't know. Alright, there's Nari the Rabbit, which would have worked with our rabbits. It's definitely better than Lefty the Rabbit or Checkered Flag here, so let's just go with Nari the Rabbit. And we could remove something here, but I don't think that's going to be working for us. I think we're at the point where we need to ditch the blue pepper. So Wealthy Capsule gives 10 once, Beer gives 10 when the dwarf drinks it, and it gives 1 in addition to that. But so in this specific case, Beer is actually a little bit better than Wealthy Capsule. It's mostly because we have empties that we're trying to fill, because Blue Pepper has run its course. Otherwise, Wealthy Capsule might actually have been better. Definitely pick the Chemical 7 here. It doesn't do that much right now, but in the long run it will be extremely good. Alright. This is not a situation where Coal is going to be helping us. We could pick up a removal capsule. It will definitely help us in the long run, because we can pick up symbols more aggressively, but I want to make sure that we are going to be making our next rent. We need to make 15 every spin. We are definitely making that, so let's pick up the removal capsule. So we have 2 removals now, which means that we can just pick up things. Not these things, but things. So let's skip again. So there's a lot that we want here. I don't want to pick up a third Matryoshka Doll. I mean, it's long enough to do something that I don't think it's going to help us for now. So let's just skip. We can use our rerolls later. Does mean that we are losing a lot of our being ahead, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. It does mean that we need some good things. So 280. We need 300 next spins, next rent payments, so we are still in okay shape. I love picking Hustling Capsule. I think we're probably doing well enough to use it. It means that we are kind of missing 1 spin. I could try to reroll for a 2-value symbol, but we're probably doing well enough here. Alright, Yellow Pepper is fine. Yeah, let's just pick the Yellow Pepper. If we can get to a situation where we can consistently have it give us 2, that's just a 2-value symbol for us. Alright, I feel like we need to do something here, so just in case, we need 37 every spin. I don't know if we just made 37, but I'm gonna reroll here. I really want a Ninja at some point, but a Peach is fine too. Just 2-value symbols are okay at this point. Alright, Dwarf is drinking something, which means that we don't have a full board. Golden Arrow, alright, that's one of the strongest symbols in the game. At some point you can definitely get things like this to happen, and this has definitely saved our run in the short term. I don't know what happens in the long term, but yeah, I'm happy with what I have here. Right, how much is this spin? 42. 42 is good. Actually, I'm gonna grab a Hex of Tedium here. So we kind of want the Cursed Katana to do something for us still. Golden Arrow with Cursed Katana and a lot of ninjas is actually extremely good. And we just want a lot of stuff. Peach is a defensible pick, but it doesn't scale as well into the later parts of the run. And we finally get to remove something. Removing the coin here. I might pick up a rain cloud or a rain or two, so removing the flower doesn't help us that much yet. But we can definitely get to the point where it's good to remove the flower. Do we pick up an item capsule? I mean, we kind of need the money from our spins a lot right now, and there's not that much that I actively want. I want reroll as a common item. What else do I want? Yeah, I don't know. There aren't that many common items that I want. In time, maybe I want a ninja and mouse. If I find a lot of ninjas, then picking up mice for ninja and mouse is actually really good. But we're definitely not at that point yet, and I think I'm just gonna skip here. And that's... Wow, that golden arrow does not want to cooperate with us. Alright, Mrs. Fruit is a very good symbol to find here. Rain is okay, but not really something that we actively want. Mrs. Fruit is going to eat things for us, but we want her to show up as consistently as possible. So let's pick the pearl and... Right, she's gonna eat the 2-value symbol, which is fine. Alright, 300. We are less than a full rent payment ahead again, but that was expected. Rabbit is a 2-value symbol in the short term, and it becomes better later. We don't have anything for the save, and honey is just a 3-value symbol. I think either honey or the rabbit are fine. I think because we have Nori the rabbit, I'm okay with picking up a rabbit here. Alright, ninja and mouse can be extremely good, but we haven't found even a single ninja. So I don't know if this is going to work out for us. We could also just pick up the egg carton. Egg carton, I mean, it can do really good things for us. It can also do nothing for us. Both of these are pretty comparable. I think Ninja and Mouse has better odds for this specific run, but I really don't know if that's correct. If you have any thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments. I'm interested in your opinion. In the meantime, let's hope for things to go well for us. That's 50 this spin, that's good. I'm gonna pick up a cherry for Mrs. Fruit because I want her to be as good as possible. She had it, she still had a cherry to eat, so yeah. Let's remove the cat. The cat isn't doing anything for us. We have possible things that could make the cat better, but I don't think we have any of those right now. Alright, we are doing well enough, I think. Picking a lot of fruits, that's a good hit for the golden arrow. 63 this spin. I'm going to keep on picking up cherries. It will hurt us a little bit in the short term, but in the long run it's just so good that I think we just need to do it. Rabbit Fluff as a 3-value symbol is probably still the pick, even though we now have Hex of Tedium and 2 Rabbit Fluffs and a Shiny Pebble, and we want to hit commons, so I don't know how this is working out exactly, but my gut tells me that this is probably good enough. A lot of commons, still no ninjas, but we are making our next rent. Alright, Mrs. Fruit is doing well. We have a lot of garbage that we don't especially want. Here's the first egg for the egg carton that we didn't pick up. I'm just gonna pick up the wine. We still have the dwarf, and it's a 2-value symbol for now, which is just fine. Yeah, all of these are bad. Alright, dwarf is drinking the wine, which is also very good. Yeah, the golden arrow really made things a lot easier for us. I mean, honestly, arrows are just some of the strongest symbols in the game, and golden arrow, if you see it, just always pick it up. Unless you're already in endless mode, because then the rules for winning don't apply anymore. 527 means that we are actually a lot ahead, which I like. So we can reroll for a rare, or just pick up a coconut half or a plum. I'm going to just pick up the coconut half for Mrs. Fruit. It's not the most spectacular thing we can do, but I think it is very good. Comfy pillow. Definitely picking up the comfy pillow here. If we end the next rent payment this much ahead, we are going to be in for a good time. Otherwise, I mean, you are definitely paying a good price for a comfy pillow. I mean, let's look at this spin. That's 74. We would have paid 74 gold to activate the comfy pillow. That's a lot. That's just... So, it's good to keep those kinds of thoughts in mind. I'm just going to remove the flower now. It's not going to do anything for us. Even if we pick up a rain at some point, I don't think... 88, yeah, that... Golden arrow is just nuts. Alright. 71, those are endgame numbers, which is very good for us. We see a third cultist, but at this point we would definitely have removed both of the cultists, because we would have needed a lot better at this point. None of these help us, so even though I have an empty spot, I'm not gonna reroll to fill it against any price. Yeah, another removal capsule is fine. We are far enough ahead that I don't think I need to pick up just okay things. Could pick up a rain, it's a 3-value symbol, but honestly I'm not going to. I think we are doing so well in other places that yeah, this isn't going to be helping us a lot. Another miss, but that's fine. We are so far ahead that I'm definitely going to use the comfy pillow. Alright, we need 575, we were definitely over that number. Magic key isn't very interesting, so let's reroll. Dame. I don't think we want a dame. We don't really have anything that works with her. We could in theory see an amethyst, but if we don't, then dame would be bad. So I'm just gonna skip here. I don't think adding a 2-value symbol right now is worth it. So bowling ball is the rare that we got from Comfy Pillow. So we have a guaranteed rare item, and I mean it's just a free 3 every spin. It's like the blue pepper that we get to keep. It's really good. Alright. 57. Right, there's a second ninja. Definitely picking that up. So now we have like 2 cultists with a bunch of bonus gold. Could pick up the mouse. I mean, we have 2 ninjas, but I'm just gonna pick up the lucky capsule. I think mouse is defensible here. We have the ninja and mouse, and actually maybe mouse is actually better than a rare here. I might regret it, but I think, I mean, I haven't done this a lot. I think I've had Cursed Katana and Ninja and Mouse once before, and I seem to remember it being pretty good, but I don't know how good it is exactly. So I want to know how good it is. So I'm forcing myself to pick up the mouse here. I think we are in good enough shape that we're going to be good regardless. But Lucky Capsule is likely to give us just an emerald or a strawberry, and those are just random 3-value symbols, and mouse can definitely do a lot more for us. Alright, we have 21 symbols. I'm going to remove the shiny pebble. It's just a 1-value symbol. Right, got my first lucky mouse hit here. 73, that's really, really good for us. Alright, let's see how consistent the Ninja and Mouse combo is. Another hit. Yeah, we have 15 value ninjas here. Peach definitely with the Mrs. Fruit. I would definitely remove the dwarf here if I could. And another ninja. This is the point where I'm 100% sure that having the mouse is good for us. Of course, it's not showing up right now, but I'm very glad that I picked up the mouse, because even though we have spins like this, we are also going to be having a lot of spins where the mouse is going to be buffing multiple ninjas, and it's a multiplier effect. So it's going, in the long run, this is right. Wow, that gave us, so the golden arrow and the mouse made the one ninja give 40. Yeah, we are at 780. I don't think we need to skip this spin, but why not, right? Seeing rare items is just fun. So we are at 23 symbols, and I think just any rare symbol isn't going to be good for us. I'm honestly not sure if there's any rare that we actively want, so I'm just gonna skip here. Ancient Lizard Blade. It gives, alright, it has a base value of 8. We're gonna look at the sunglasses in a minute. It gives 1 less for each symbol in your inventory with a quantity of 2 or more, and it cannot give less than 0. Ancient Lizard Blade has been completely revamped multiple times, so I do need to read it. Sorry, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a quantity of 2 or more, which means that Ancient Lizard Blade is going to give us 2 every spin, which is better than the other options. I mean, I think this incentivizes us to clean up our deck a little bit in some ways, but just having something that gives 2 every spin is actually really good. Sunglasses, I think you need to be doing pretty well already to have this be good for you. I've tried picking up sunglasses on higher apartment levels, and it's just really difficult to get to 4 removals. Because you really want to spend those removals. If you have a cardboard box, this is kind of easy to activate, but otherwise I think I would stay away from the sunglasses. So let's just pick up the Ancient Lizard Blade, and let's see what we want to remove. Yeah, the dwarf, definitely the dwarf, even though we could do something to make the Ancient Lizard Blade better. Right. So the mouse is powering up multiple ninjas, and we are making lots and lots and lots of money here. Yeah, between the golden arrow and the ninja and mouse, we 122 this spin. So I'm going to call it here. We have won this run. We can think about how we want to finish this run, if we want to keep on feeding Mrs. Fruit or not, how many things we actively want to remove. But honestly, I mean, there's not that much that we are lacking for here. Yeah, I mean, we could pick up a wealthy capsule, but I don't think that's even good for us. Because we want our synergies to show up as much as possible. 105, yeah. So, I've had some really strong runs with Cursed Katana. Now, Cursed Katana can get out of control in the same way that regular cultists can, except that your cultists have a higher base value now. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, the ninja actually becomes a tiny fraction less common than cultists were before that, because you add an extra symbol to the common pool, but if you manage to make this work, it can definitely carry a run. Picking the silver arrow here, it's not as good as a golden arrow, but I mean, it's really good. Devil's Deal, just fun. Realistically, it's only going to be relevant on the last 2 spins, actually. Mostly just the last spin. Give me a second here. So one thing with the Devil's Deal that so you can use it to bail you out of the last rent payment if it's too high. That's no problem. But importantly, if you have the rent payment before that, you can use the Devil's Deal, and then you get to keep your money, which, right, you do it instead of paying rent. So if you can somehow scrounge enough money in those last 10 spins to pay your final rent, you can still win. If it's more than that, just forget about it. I mean, if you do this halfway through the game, it's never going to be relevant. That said, we are going to have to think about picking up a diver or not. I think we don't want to do that. I mean, our symbols are just so strong that adding a diver here is just not going to be helping us. Gonna pick up a chemical 7. We have a single 7, and while we don't really need it to win, probably you gotta go with the 7s, right? If we can get lucky, we still want to. Alright. There's probably a point where we don't want to pick up any more ninjas. I don't know when that point is. Probably somewhere in infinite mode. In endless mode. I mean, yeah. Yeah, let's do the tedium capsule to make it more likely for us to pick up a ninja or a mouse. I think we have so many ninjas now that having multiples of a mouse is probably also really good for us. None of these help us. And 137. I didn't really need to pick up the lucky capsule here, but there are still enough good rares for us to find that I think it's good to do so. Tomb is not one of them. Generally, Tomb is one of the things that you're just looking for to have something really good. But we're just so far ahead that we don't want to do this. Alright, treasure chest, bear, sun. All of those don't work with our strategy, so let's reroll, and none of these work with it either. Sure, let's pick recycling. Recycling is a bussedly strong thing that you can have. Let's remove a 3-sided die, it doesn't do anything for us. Right, I mean, just getting a reroll every spin is just insanely strong. It's better if you get it early because you can use it to dig for good rares. Right now, we can't really save it for anything, so... Oh. um, I'm having thoughts come up in my head while I'm talking, which isn't the best. While you're at 777, I mean, you can save things for a rent payment, so the recycling isn't as good anymore. But yeah. One thing, we just saw a cheese go by, and I think, right, if you have Cursed Katana, a Ninja, and Mouse, I mean, picking up cheese can be extremely good. Right, Ninja and Mouse multiplies the value of your mouse, so if your mouse is also eating cheese while being buffed by a Ninja, that's going to be a lot of points. So maybe I should have thought a little bit more about that. I think I have seen more situations where maybe I should have been picking mouse and cheese a little bit higher. But the problem is that the floor on these symbols is just so low. I mean, on its own, a mouse is just a one value symbol, which is really, really, really bad. Yeah. So I don't think, I don't know how to rate those exactly. I mean, they can be okay sometimes, but, and in a situation like this, having a mouse with cheese can just blow things completely out of the water for you. So it's good to keep an open mind for combinations like that. This is almost 200 this spin, yeah. So no, I'm not getting my final spin, obviously, because we want to get as rich as possible. Let's take the devil's wheel. Alright, this is a victory. We ended up at 1945 money. So the thing that saved that won this run was just picking up the golden arrow. I think once you have a golden arrow, you can just do any strong thing. I mean, we had the Mrs. Fruit, and we actually passed on multiple things that could have been very good for us. I mean, I think there was a pair at some point where we had 2 arrows, which could have been extremely good. But we had the Cursed Katana that we wanted to make work. Don't start thinking that Cursed Katana isn't always big. I mean, and we were kind of struggling for something strong to do, and Cursed Katana was one thing that we could do that was very strong. And the way our run evolved meant that Cursed Katana could actually carry this run. Obviously, we had a Mrs. Fruit and we had the Golden Arrow, which they helped a lot, maybe even more than the Cursed Katana with the ninjas. But that was a fun thing that we were doing, right? Overall, just keep your eye open for multipliers and anything that can carry a run. If we hadn't seen any ninjas, maybe we would have seen rains for the rain cloud. Maybe we would have picked up that diver and gone with it, or there are a lot of other ways that we could have won this run, but picking up the golden arrow, that was just one way that we got strong extremely quickly. Well, enough talking about this. I hope that this run was educational and or fun, and I hope I will see you in another Luck Be a Landlord video. Goodbye!